但是严重的有什么？我们今天的主题是 Mozart。那Concerts were Wolfgang became included against the concertmaster. He wrote the music at his usual fast pace, but he was bored. Then in 1718, he was asking concerts at the opera for the Munich, Germany. Now this was exciting. Mozart loved opera and he wrote art. And he could be satisfied again where he was increasingly unhappy. His mother died, and there was now a piano teacher were no longer very close. No felt long to get river and piano teacher were no longer very close. Often long and get weary, like many operas. The story has a very complicated plot based on an old legend. It is about a ancient Greek king. After winning a long war against the Trojans, the king Altamore was on the way home. Before the king fails and the soldiers makes his choice and the trees are destroyed in a terrible storm. So Miriam makes a bargain with Neptune, god of the sea. He saw if his own life is spared landing out. Then he turns legs into harmful the race with Neptune fearless, he creates some terrible sea monsters. Now the way will present decided that a creature when having his own death of their shoes are no longer angry. And as always the fathers of the prince becomes a new king of Greece, very beautiful princess. Valdemar King Crete was a big success at that point, and their trip on transport in Greece. Wolfgang was happy with the enthusiastic reception to his work. Perhaps now we would be offered a permanent job in Munich. How much would life be like? Leopard and Narrows always joined him here and there. They would live together again, but it was not to be soon after Mozart was called. Nailings and war others hold into it, and it has mastered his for of relationship between Archbishop of Music and Stormy. The Archbishop did not appreciate Mozart, and he was renewed honors in him. He called Mozart a mad, Rosso, and Lowenstein. He even had Mozart kicked in the seat of the pants of the house. Mozart was angry until he illuminated. And now when the session shut down, the risky musicians to do. Without reaching and Mozart, and rarely sadly when asking for the concert enough money, how would he manage? Clutches enough one mind and his son stunned. Homer has impossible how irascible of one budge. Or no serious Homer was his earnest, constantly less and same with you. He wrote to his father. He hoped his father would understand, but Ludwig remained angry to his son, continued the ride of St. Salzburg. The reason of the envy of Wolfie was Mozart was falling in love again. And this was Weber's first love and no longer had any interest in him. His younger sister Constance, however, was very taken talent composer. Constance singer could be appreciate Mozart's talents, but Leppard didn't care about that, and hated letters back and forth between father and son. Leppard told Wolfgang that he could not afford to marry. He said bad things about Constance and her family. He assumes that Weber was trying to trap Mozart into marriage. Mozart still longed for his father and Virgil. He wanted leopard happy forehead. Wolfgang sent a snuff bust of the little harpies by an arrow. Foreign rules and tabs were made by Constance and lessons and says no sure cannot pass for me wishing to series of letters of new idea in how his marriage of Constance. My heart is still as confused. In such conditions, can one think of a good proposal? Did Leopard consent to marriage? No. He remained in cold and his horses, but this time, Mozart was against his father's wishes. He was now in his twenties and he was lonely. He loved Constance and wanted her as his wife. In 1782, they married and set up housekeeping. In Vienna, Mozart said farewell to Salzburg once and for all. 我现在是打疫苗后的不是打疫苗后，打疫苗的当天，有点不舒服。For the most part, Mozart and Constance had a happy urge of always journalists to make ends meet, up about the stories and couples of dense, unheated houses, ones in the wooden furniture stores, their own with the money of electric bills, new concerts and composed music, frantic plays, and needed to make more and more indeed of endurance, and often he has been friends for alone. Even during the hard times at Constance and Mozart loved each nevertheless could be together despite a woman with a conscience and kindness high out of the world. That he wrote in Constance, he pushed on must he missed Charlotte and opens for lots of money. Imposing quickly they did and he bought fancy a big parties and were just dancing a lot of food and his own coach a great deal of money. In Constance and Wolfgang had 6 children and only 2 sons and horses. Wolfgang's cousin were heard to sing songs and sang and played music and often. Sometimes in a patter bird was starling enjoying their songs. One day Mozart received a visit from Franz Harden, only 24 years old, than Mozart. Mozart was the greatest living composer ever heard Mozart play. He later told for his son is the greatest composer in now. Mozart and Haydn came in very close friends. Eventually, Mozart when he composed many pieces of music, he decided to befriend Haydn. Some of the piano concerts are the pieces of music written for an orchestra were finalized for piano. Other is in all. returned his quarters to violins, a viola, and a bass. Despite of his praise of him, Mozart never became too proud. His value of his own music, but he also appreciated the music of others. He knew that a composer would be put in need of him. He hear of music in German, 76 speech. Some people learn from. Some of the greatest birthdays of the time in 1786, Mozart wrote the marriage of her son, opera with the beautiful music, yet it's very funny, and it tells the story of his Susanna and both Count and Countess. Susanna can play and marry. Meanwhile, the Lincoln is unhappy because her husband was ignoring him. Susanna's influence think of complete, complicated plot his wife and his lover disagree and false identities, but all ends happy. The marriage of Ringo opens the Grand Opera House. Vienna was a big success. The company went figures over half what it is now Greece Republic of even bigger whenever thousand people with Mozart opera or dancing to one of his lively tunes. Mozart was thrilled by creations of opera and thanks to people who were writers and he wrote in sexual and symphony, biography symphony to Asper. His, his gratitude are more important. He was asked to write another opera written in 1787. The new opera don't release immediately. It tells necessary stories of love with death and noblemen, duties of opera too, in great success. In Brahms, Mozart was his friend in 1719. Popular opera in composers too. Mozart amazed everybody. Does Italian poet Lorenzo da Ponte. Although in Liverpool words of Mozart composing Così fan tutti is another and comic opera. In the futures appear above his officers and years and going sweethearts, Dorabella, Alfred and these and two young men. In Johnson, two young men, and there was love of two women, and there were some pretty complicated tricks to do, but only ends of a two couple. Mason Rosario enjoyed the operas. The Magic Flute was written in 1791. New Nazi regards the royal literature of Nurses there with the Queen of France with beautiful daughter with the handsome Ruth with the animals and sailors in the Air Force with the dangers. Was hanging on the shoulders of the princess, regardless of the hearts who heard it. Most of the people think the operas of Mozart finished first in India, not for Duke of the words and quality in happy years in the short life. 给大家音频片子呢，别忘记我们上交通频道，这里是刘小再见，拜。